And again, you're looking for those very lovely, soft, floral, Speyside flavours, which is key to the style of Chivas Regal 12, 18, and indeed 25. So again, you should be finding flavours of orchard fruits such as apples. Again, a little bit of vanilla coming through. That's coming from the bourbon cask we use in maturation. And also, again, that butterscotch coming through. And the finish, I know being a Scotsman, you'll understand the idea of the finish, and the whiskey lingers in your mouth. Very long, very rich, lingering finish with Chivas Regal 12. It doesn't disappear straight away, it lingers at the back of your mouth and the pleasure stays there.
Well, you know, I didn't realise that it was finished in bourbon cask.
It's not finished in bourbon cask. We mature the whiskies for Chivas Regal in a combination of sherry cask and bourbon cask. But I think
Macallan, they use sherry.
They use sherry cask, yeah.
Am I allowed to say Macallan?
You can, yes, you can. Yeah.
I have.
You're asking the questions. Whereas we tend to use a combination of sherry cask and bourbon cask also.
Okay.
But it also depends on the different style of whiskey. It's personal choice. Do you prefer a bourbon cask matured whiskey or a sherry cask matured whiskey? We have a combination in the Chivas Regal style. They're a very, very complex nature.
So the standard Chivas is 12 years old, yes?
We never do standard.
Sorry, not standard. How do I reword that politely?
Our family starts at 12 years old, yes.
Your family,
Yes.
See? He's embodying it. Okay. So it starts at 12, but that's not, I mean, a lot of other whiskies, like the one I just mentioned, or some of the other popular brands, they start at the 10 and then work away up.
But I think in terms of premium whiskies, you're really looking at a minimum of 10 or 12 years. In terms of Chivas Regal 12, the whiskies are at their peak at 12 years old. If we blended and bottled them at 10 years old, it wouldn't have the complex nature we're looking for. So we started at 12, then we moved to 18, and then last year we recreated Chivas Regal 25, which was in fact the original Chivas Regal in 1909 when it was first launched. But due to Prohibition and the First World War,
All got drunk.
well, it didn't all get wrong, but obviously barley was being used for food, etc. So you no longer had the stocks of whiskey. So it came to last year, and our master blender, Colin Scott, he was charged with recreating Chivas Regal 25 in the same style. So as you'll see later on when you come to taste it, obviously we cannot compare it back to 1909 because we don't have it with us tonight. Exactly, yes. But you will see it's very much in the Chivas Regal style. Obviously 25 years old, very luxurious.
Very expensive?
It's like anything in life, you've got to pay for the good things in life.
Indeed.
It is a luxury whiskey, luxury brand, so yeah, it has quite a...
So the next whiskey that we've got is the 18. So I need to add some...
a little bit of water.
A little bit of water to this.
Sim again, Paul. Perfect.
Okay, so what should be the striking difference between these two members of your family who are divided by 6 years?
The striking difference is, if you have a nose and have a little sip, I think there's one flavour which you should find very, very easily with Chivas Regal 18.
Am I allowed to say juicy fruit? No, it's not.
I wouldn't say that, but if you can find dark chocolate. One of the key flavours in Chivas Regal 18 is dark chocolate. It's a little bit of kind of, say, butterscotch, as I'm sure you know from back home. It's one of those very elegant floral flavours. And once you have a sip, you notice just to the back of your mouth, into the finish, very sweet, mellow smokiness. It's not an overpowering smokiness, because again, the main influence, as in the 12-year-old, is Speyside. So it's very elegant, floral flavours. You get that slight hint of smokiness coming through. There's much more the dark chocolate, dried spices, fruits, a little bit of buttery toffee again also. Again, still in the Chivas Regal style, as you'd expect, but a little bit different. The texture's a little bit more different, a bit more of a velvety smoothness. It's been 18 years in the cask, so it's taken a little bit...
Just you keep talking, I'll just keep drinking.
And texture, of course, yeah. As I said, whiskey is made for enjoying, so...
And the good thing is we're not expected to spit it out, like we go to these wine dinners everywhere, you know.
Well, as long as you're not driving, it's entirely up to yourself. If you drink it, please take a taxi home.
Well, he's forgetting he's in Thailand. But it is markedly different. And actually, I didn't pick up on the smell, but when I tasted it, I could get that. And I mean, maybe I'm confusing my senses slightly, but it is quite different. I mean, it's the big brother, I guess, of that.
Exactly. I mean, it is aged for 6 years more, but the key thing to remember is going from Chivas Regal 12 to 18. It's not simply a question of the same whiskies left for a further 6 years. You'll have different whiskies, a different cask selection, so this will give you a different flavour. Of course, still in traditional Chivas Regal style, but very, very different flavours at certain points in your palate. So it's very key that people understand that it isn't simply 12 plus 6.
Yeah.
It is 12 plus 6, but there are very many variants within those 6 years that create that different flavour.
Okay, now here at the Hard Rock Cafe tonight, you've been educating people. You've been letting them taste the whiskey and showing them how to taste the whiskey and what to smell for and what to look for when they're tasting it. But you also threw in, and it wouldn't be right to mention it, but you also threw in some other brands, and then you formed that as part of a sort of quiz almost. Yes?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and whiskey is very much it's about comparing and contrasting. In my view, there are no bad whiskies. You have different styles of whiskies which appeal to different styles of people. And the process tonight was to really highlight the flavour of Chivas Regal. Particularly tonight, we're having fine dining with Chivas Regal, and to really highlight the flavours of Chivas Regal and how they go together with food. Some whiskies don't, some whiskies do. It's all about different styles and different occasions.
But you were quite brave because you introduced another brand it's quite a popular brand here in Thailand, and one of the sort of higher levels of it, and you managed to, well, you kind of came up trumps, didn't you?
Well, we are very confident in our whiskey. That
evident.
Of course, yeah. If we can really ask people to enjoy our whiskey and taste it, we are very, very sure that they will enjoy Chivas Regal. We have no doubts about that at all. It'll stand against any competition in the whiskey market, and that we are very, very positive.
Well, thanks very much for speaking to us. It's always an insight. It's always great to meet a fellow Scot, of course, but it does give you an insight. And as you said, it's a way of educating people about the different whiskies and the different blends or the different ages that Chivas have. And of course, we're going to have to keep on drinking. You know, it's all research. I promise you, it's only research. In the meantime, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much.
Okay, this is Paul at the Hard Rock Cafe. Minus his kilt, but you never know. I think I'd fit into it. Okay, see you again. Bye-bye.